All right, everyone, we are just about to get started. It is going to be the Lion versus Unicorn game. We just had a little bit of a mix-up with regard to timings and such, but that has been sorted now. So let me put the game on the screen, and it should be starting in a couple of minutes and or seconds. Since we are a little bit pressed for time right now, I'm not going to go through the deck lists. Maybe as the players are setting up, I'll just call out a couple of interesting things about each player's deck. So yeah, we are up for, what did I say? 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 games over the next 6 or so hours. So there goes my Sunday. I don't know about you, but there's no better way I'd like to be spending my Sunday. So the Lion looks like he's running a commander deck. Um, it's a Unicorn Splash. Nothing really seems to be standout, so maybe some key cards. One Talisman, one Adorned Barchar, one 10,000 Blades. Uh, he's only got one Mere Mystic. He's not using hand to hand. What is the Lion attachment control card? Call to War? No, that's not it. Prepare for War. Yes, okay, so he's got a bunch of those. Yeah, and there's a Uchiaki in the deck for some interesting spice. In the Unicorn deck, oh, actually, just on the line deck again, provinces are Fertile Field, City of the Rich Frog, Illustrious Forge, Shameful Display, and Art of War. So I'm guessing Fertile Fields is going on the box out of that lineup. In the Unicorn deck, we have Manicured Garden, City of the Rich Frog, Khan's Ordu, Appealing to the Fortunes. That's kind of interesting. And Rally to the Cause. I'm guessing Rally's on the box here. It's Unicorn with Lion Splash. Notable cards. Join the Fray. So that's their charge. 3 strength in numbers, which is kind of nice. 1 talisman. Yeah, and that's kind of it. So over into the game, looks like the Unicorn player has flipped up a Keeper Initiate, which is always handy. He's going big on turn 1. Probably has a couple of conflict characters in his hand to kind of make use of Hisumori Toride and Chagatai. Lion's going first. Lion could bring in, if he plays it right, he could use this Motso to bring in Chagatai, right, as a defender. That could be quite interesting. Lion bidding 4 to 5 versus Unicorn, staying up there in terms of honor. His hand size is above, so the triggering conditions on this Motso is if you have fewer cards in hand. I can never keep up with, what all the conditions are for Lion cards to play. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Stranger Tamer throwing down a attachment on the Motso. I wonder if he's going to do a political attack with that Motso and then pull in Chagatai if he can get underneath Chagatai, underneath the Unicorn player's hand size. That'd be kind of interesting, right? And then you just leave with favorable ground. This sounds like a pretty good maneuver. What do you attack with? Water? Seems safe. As always, let me know if the audio is okay. Sorry for the keyboard. It's fine for everything except for talking to other people. Yeah, you're quite right there, Dark Black. All right, so He throws a card. So Lion does attack political fire. He throws a card to get under um, the Unicorn hand size. Unicorn fires back with his own curved blade. Stranger Tamer plays a prepare for war. Chooses Kitsu Motso rather, just to get the honor token. Seems fair. He's now under. Fine Katana going on Chagatai. Both players on 7 cards. Where will it end? Fine Katana. No, sorry, not a Fine Katana. A Talisman of the Sun on Motso. What else you got, Unicorn? What else you got? Having a bit of a think. That is odd. Is Curved Blade restricted? It is. All right, so Fine Katana coming down, discarding the other Fine Katana. Stranger Tamer plays Away the Lion in a political conflict. Uh, really just wants to disarm this Chagatai really quickly. uh, Unicorn playing a captive audience to switch it to a military conflict. Both players are now on 5 cards. Stranger Tamer playing another Way of the Lion, taking him up to a grand total of 18 military skill in this conflict. This is a hell of a first conflict. I think this is still fine for both players. Okay, so Unicorn throwing down a Shinjo Ambusher. That's a shame. The Shinjo Ambusher could have been really useful later in the game. It feels like Unicorn might be getting a little thin on cards they can play in the conflict. Stranger Tamer passes, can't bring in Chagatai. This could be really, really good for Unicorn actually, because Unicorn is going to swing in for 2 military provinces. This could be bad. On the flip side, I suppose, Motso's got the Talisman of the Sun, so using Unicorn tricks against them, he can basically plant Chagatai into whatever conflicts he likes. He had another tactical ingenuity. Strange that Lion didn't play that in the conflicts. Oh, no, 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 sorry, my bad. Spoils of War. So he must have just, Stranger Tamer just played a Spoils of War, so he must have drawn that one. Discarding in service to my lord. Great, great card. So Unicorn attacking back with a Ring of Earth, which will definitely put, will definitely put Stranger Tamer under to Nobu once this ring gets resolved in terms of hand size. What do you reckon? Stranger Tamer doesn't have any fate, so there's no way you can play anything like Fan of Command or anything like that. Really, the only thing you can do is use favorable ground to maneuver this Motso a little bit. I feel like defending with the Berserker isn't a great idea right here, but you know, I think we've established on previous streams that I am by no means a Lion expert. Stranger Tamer using Talisman to Sun to move the Motsu Berserker over to Illustrious Forge to pull out what? A Barchar, maybe? Nope, Sharpen the Mind. I bet he was hoping for a Barchar right there. Barchar would have been really nice to prevent a break here, which would take the teeth out of this attack for sure. Stranger Tamer moves in Motso, probably to get a couple of triggers off this tactical ingenuity, since Motso is not necessarily guaranteed to be able to get into any other conflicts this turn. He uses Service to My Lord to straighten Motso. That's pretty sweet. Out of the discard pile, I'm guessing. Yep. And there's one still in the discard pile. So if this doesn't break for Unicorn, it's actually quite good for Stranger Tamer, even though he didn't quite get the work done that he needed to in the last conflict. 11 to 14 is up by 3, so it doesn't break. So that Moto Chagatai is not going to get in multiple conflicts this turn. And even though Idenobu did win the conflict, he opted. Oh no, he couldn't activate because the Lion player had 2 defenders. I suspect we're just going to see us going straight to the Fate phase. Yes, we are. Stranger Tamer nabbing that favor. Wait, what? Did I miss something? The defender had 14. Stranger Tamer won on 14. Huh. Isn't that some? Okay. Coming into turn 2, I think this Windswept Yurt is quite good. Shinjo Encampment, unfortunately, flipping on a broken province for a Unicorn. Suko is always a heavy lifter for the Unicorn, so I think that's definitely going to be the purchase there. You're going to buy. Oh, he's opting to go for Season of War. Lion player doesn't like his flip. He's going to go for another one. Got some Keeper Initiates in the row now for the Lion player. And a cheeky Caravan Guard. Well, there's no more. There's no more Shinjo encampment, so Sentaro is not going to be stealing that. Not that he could, because it was on a broken province, but you know. Okay, so Lion buying a Battle Aspirant, both players passing, and we are on to the draw phase. We're going to see 4 versus 5. No, we're going to see 5 versus 5. Lion player doesn't really need to do anything right now to stay on top of the Unicorn as far as honor goes. Yeah, I think removing the encampment probably was a good idea, and the yurt as well, right? Like the yurt could have brought something interesting in for the Unicorn player. So we are towering up this Mozzo. What do we got? 2 tactical ingenuities, 2 sharpen the minds and a talisman, and only 1 fate. With Unicorn being first player, I think he's almost certainly going to attack Void here. And you know, low hanging fruit may as well go for the. I suppose you could go for either. Neither of them do anything right now. I think I would have gone for the City of the Rich Frog. Going in with both, we're going to see 2 defenses for Lion. Only if he's got some straighten in hand, possibly. Some straighten and some move in. The Lion deck does not have any conflict characters at all, whereas the Unicorn deck is sitting on a very healthy 5. So right now we see the attacking player winning with a box, with an possible activation on the box. I think Unicorn's going to need to play something in order to activate the box, because you don't want to sacrifice either of these 2 characters to get any work done. Stranger Tamer relying on his Sharpen the Minds. Getting himself a +3 initially, a +4 for Idenobu, so he's up by 2. Another Sharpen the Mind. Discarding a favored mount, that's kind of interesting. Maybe he has multiple in hand, or maybe he has more Spoils of War for later. Idenobu plays Cavalry Reserves. Well, that will get him the extra characters that he wants to be able to sacrifice. This Regulars is going to be really good to draw him a card and gain him a Fate. We are moving to Art of War, so Lion is going to fix up this hand disparity at the end of this conflict, but he is going to be, like, the Unicorn player is threatening to remove this Mozzo. You know, say what you like about this matchup, it is fast. So Unicorn breaking that province for sure with 25 versus 14. Although he did have to play 3 cards to do it. The Mozzo is going to go home bound, but we're going to draw 3 cards on the line side. So maybe one of those is some more favored mounts or some straighten. What are they called? Fancy command. This battle aspirant, I think, is going to attack and is going to try and bring in this Chagatai. Unicorn, does he have any fingers? There are no Finger of Jade in the Unicorn deck, so I think we're looking to disarm Chagatai. But at this stage, I am not really sure. Like, you're giving up a whole conflict. And you're actually giving up your military conflicts in order to try and neuter this Chagatai. There is a call to war in the Lion deck, but playing it against... Oh no, Service to My Lord. Why didn't I think of that? I knew there was another one in the bin. Never mind. So 8 military strength, so not necessarily willing to give up that military conflict. He's probably not attacking on water. Earth seems a little bit low value. Maybe you do attack on water and straighten this aspirant. Aha! Yeah, Dark Black, you're on it. So he's going to go in on political. He does have less cards in hand. Pulls in and bows this Moto Chagatai. I feel like both of these Sharpen the Minds have been used. But with Moto Chagatai being dishonored, he's only representing one skill. Unfortunately, we might see... oh my god, this guy can come in over Minakaze regulars. That's kind of sweet. I guess we're going to see Yasamura in the next conflicts. So tactical ingenuity, tactical ingenuity #1 comes off. Takes a in service to my lord. I hear that's pretty good. So I think the second tactical ingenuity gets to activate now, right? Is this water? You can't go void to get his keepers out. He did have a keeper, didn't he? Yeah, there it is. It's on the row. I feel like this Mozzo is going away though, right? So if he goes and gets the Mystic out, what's it going to do? So Stranger Tamer passes actually. I don't know whether he used both tactical ingenuities or oh, he did, yeah. He got a Bonte and he got an in-service to Lord, so he did use both. So much card draw. So Lion is actually halfway towards his victory condition. You're quite right. He does bring out a Mystic. Yeah, that's a good point actually. He's trying. He might be trying to prevent a. Yeah, there's that disguise card. That's great. This guy's ability should have been a Phoenix ability. I maintain. Prove me wrong. The I keep forgetting the name of the card. Fan of Command. That's the one. Do you use your call to war if even if it's going to put a fate on your opponent? Like you probably don't care about Chagatai, but keeping this Kiora around for another turn could be bad. Oh yes, It's like, it's not even a question. All right, so what do we got? So Unicorn is on their second of 3 attacks this turn. Zentara disguising over the Battle Aspirant. Elegant Tessin coming up on the Mere Mystic. That's 3 Sharpen the Minds. These are some very, very quick-witted line right here, doing all they can to sharpen their minds. Idanobu straightens Chagatai with the Mere Mystic. That explains the Tessin. I wondered about the Tessin, but it's all coming together now. It's totally worth it, right? I'd pay 2 cards to straighten a Chagatai and attack on a military conflict where he's not going to bow. Absolutely. Is this another favored mount in the bin or the same one? It's the same one, okay. So I think you're attacking Earth here, right? On any of the face-up provinces. Air clearly wants the fate. His opponent's first play next turn, so it's not a terrible idea to take the fate off the table before that happens. Both players pretty even on their hand sizes, so a ring of Earth doesn't represent quite as much disparity as it does as if there's a big difference. Does he have keepers? Let's have a look. I think there was one from earlier. Yes, there's one. Wait, what? Oh man, that happened so quick. That conflict was over before I closed the discard pile. All right, so Stranger Tamer looks like he's playing from behind a bit here. He needs to attack on. He needs to attack and get some work done so that he can potentially be on box next turn. He's attacking on military, which means that Chagatai is going to be an excellent defender here for the Unicorn. The Unicorn doesn't have a whole lot of fate. What could they have? Can you use a Dawn Barchar on offense? Apparently so. Of course, if the Barchar comes down, the Mere Mystic will quickly take care of that. All right, so playing in service to my lord on. Who's playing in service to my lord? Stranger Tamer, discarding in service to my lord for Sharpen the Mind. So we are on 6 versus 1, so breaking. It's a military conflict. Man, I'll bet Chagatai was about to defend until Khan's auto flipped face up. Blade of 10,000 battles. What's he going to get back? Is he going to get back a favored mount? Nope, because that blade of 10,000 battles just snapped in half and went into the discard pile. Doesn't really, the line play doesn't really have enough for any more big attachments, maybe some small attachments. Stranger Tamer, the line player, is not going to die right here, and he is on the Unicorn player's box. So this attack is just going to go through no matter what, I think. There's probably going to be little to no resistance. There's going to be no resistance on the line player's side, so that conflict is just a given. Does the Unicorn player run away the Unicorn? That'd be hilarious. He does not. Probably a smart Unicorn player. All right. So, end of turn two, both players have 7 or 8 cards in hand, roughly the same amount of cards in hand. They're going to get the same amounts of um, fate next turn, and the honor isn't really, nobody's really in a danger zone. There was no call to war, which means that Lion's really big lightning rod character has gone away, their platform, as they say. Oh man, Hagataki, what do you do? Move the contested ring to another eligible province. Well, that'll solve a talisman, so that's probably a good play. He's bringing it out with no fate, which kind of tells me that the line player thinks that uh, this is the last turn no matter what. Did Join the Fray get used in the last conflict? I can't tell. So Lion brings out his entire lineup. Still has 3 fate in the bank for some big attachments if he wants it. Looks like it's Eden Nobu's turn, deciding whether he's just going to pass rather than buy the Mere Mystic. I probably would have bought the Mere Mystic myself. I'm not sure what Stranger Tamer is going to do with 4 fate rather than 3. Both players bidding 5. What's the requirements on Agataki? Lion's box. I think it's going to be Fertile Fields, to be honest. He's playing Fertile Fields, City of the Rich, Five Illustrious Swords, Shameful or Art of War. Could be Shameful, but I think it's Fertile Fields. Let me move this guy for you. So conflict phase. Conflict phase. Lion just trying to work out his sequencing, I'm imagining. Both players have plenty of cards in their hand. 2 Way of the Lions are already done for Stranger Tamer. There they are. So no big Way of the Lions is conflict. Probably some bonsais. All of the Sharpen the Minds bar 1 have left the table. What else have we got in the Lion players array? So there's an Adorned Barchar, some Fans of Command, more bonsais, some Prepare for Wars, maybe for some honor tokens, and Strength in Numbers to just push back an enemy unit that's pretty big, which in this case is either going to be Chagatai or Tsuko. So I think he's putting 2 characters in. Yeah. I think Chagatai and the Border Rider defend. The Border Rider almost certainly defend. Oh, it's on a political conflict. Yeah, I agree. Mystic would have been really good here. Although Agatoki does hamper a talisman just a little bit. Ide Nobu having a manicured garden under his box. In comes Zentaro with the favored mount. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's kind of cool. I saw on some streams that there was this green border around cards, and I wondered what that was. If you hover over them, it actually highlights them on the board. That's kind of cool. So what disappeared? Oh, oh, that Mere Mystic just got assassinated. Unicorn assassins, man. They just come out of nowhere. I suppose all assassins come out of nowhere, but nobody expects it from the unicorn. All right, so there's no defenders here. So I think Centauro is going to come in on Sharpen the Mind, throw a card out for Sharpen the Mind, putting him on. Well, he's on 6 now, so 6 plus 3 is 9. What can Unicorn do? Well, Talisman is the only thing, but Agataki's going to frustrate Talisman maybe? What are the triggering conditions? If you're more honorable, check. And he's attacking, check. Huh. That face down province must have a really strong on reveal effect. We can probably work it out. Let's have a look. It is rally. Oh, so you can rally it to a military conflict. I mean, could work. That could work. How do you get guys in though? Favored mounts of your own? Is Unicorn running favored mount? Unicorn is not running favored mounts. Maybe some conflict characters. Maybe we see an ambusher or a wayfinders. Okay, so we're in a military conflict now. He already used sharpen outside the conflict. Is that even a thing? No, it's during a conflict. Yeah, so we're back on the box now because of Agatoki. It's a military conflict, so I think Cav reserves. It's got to be Cav reserves. There we go. Okay, so 9 on the Unicorn side now. Moto Nagui. Ah, that could be terrible. Terrible for Stranger Tamer. Pretty good for Unicorn, though. Pretty good. Although, you could, if he's got the send home, you could send home Nagui with a strength in numbers. I don't think Barchar got used. Actually, Shadow, I'm not sure which player you're referring to. Still 9 to 14, which is breaking for the Lion player. Strength in numbers. I think that's a one of, or is that a three of? Is this one of the Lion decks with 3 of them? No, this is only a one of in the Lion player's deck. So great play there. Sending home Nagui. That's pretty clutch, I think. I think if Unicorn has some bonsais, now is when you play them. I think we're just going to be looking at some back and forth force pumping on both sides here. You know, this game's been out for like 3 years and I haven't played L5R in like 5 years and I'm still saying force. Yeah, I think Unicorn lost this match. Oh my God. Felt like Unicorn was in a really good position early game, but with some tricky maneuvering on the Lion side, kind of took the teeth out of those deadly early Unicorn attacks. Do Unicorns have teeth? Took the horns off those early Unicorn attacks. Stranger Tamer playing a Defend Your Honor. Unleash the Djinn. Oh my God, that could have been clutch. Hidenobu is making a good go of it. 13 to 18 is up by 5, which is breaking still. Stranger Tamer passes, putting the pressure back onto the Unicorn player. An elegant Tessin for a +1. Stranger Tamer really has to play something else now. Plays a Prepare for War for an Honor token on Zentaro. That's a +2. We're back to breaking. What else has Unicorn got? Nothing. Unicorn loses. Oh my God. That was such a great, fast-paced, back-and-forth game. I was kind of expecting. It was so close as well. Like it felt like sometimes Lion had the advantage, and then Unicorn, or Unicorn and then Lion, and then back and forth. That was pretty special. So that puts Australia on the scoreboard. So if you haven't been keeping up, the French team have taken 2 games away from Australia so far. So this is the first game that Australia's taken in this match. It is a little bit past half past, so I think that the next game is going to be Paddy Ollie, which I think is Crane versus Scorpion. So I might restart the stream just while I see if that game has already started, and I'll try and get it back up as soon as possible. If they haven't started, then that'll be good. We'll get to see the start of that game. So thanks for everybody for watching. Congrats to the Australian player, and thanks to the organisers. Thanks to the players. Thanks to everyone for watching. See you in a sec.